Somewhere right now, an analyst you'll never meet is opening a file with your name on it. No sirens, just a keyboard, a coffee going cold, and a name quietly added to a list. Here's what actually happens after the crime and before the knock on the door, 5 levels at a time. And by the end, you'll understand why almost nobody who reaches level 5 ever saw level 1 coming. Level 1, small-time fraud. You are 24, and you've just taken out a small federal disaster relief loan for a business that barely exists, padding the application with vendor receipts you altered in a photo editor over a single weekend. A few $1,000s that felt necessary at the time and feels enormous the moment a letter arrives from an office you didn't know existed. The letter isn't dramatic, it just asks for the original documentation. A loan compliance examiner named Rachel Voss has 40 files open that month, and yours is one of them. Wedged between 2 others, she'll clear before lunch. She cross-references your receipts against the vendor's actual sales records. A 15-minute task on a slow Tuesday, and the mismatch jumps out immediately. An invoice number that vendor never issued. A total that doesn't match anything in their system. She flags the file for referral and moves to the next name before her coffee even cools. There's no stakeout, no van outside your building, just a database entry that will sit there patiently for as long as it needs to. You never find out who flagged it, or that you were ever a name on a list at all until a second letter arrives offering to settle the debt with a penalty before anyone considers charges. You pay it. The file closes. Level 1 teaches you something most people never learn until it's too late to matter. The system's smallest amount of attention still counts as attention, and giving it a reason to look costs you almost nothing to avoid. Level 2, identity theft. You are 27. One stolen wallet became 3 identities, then 11, each new one feeling like proof the system really is this porous that nobody's actually watching the mail routes you've been working. This time the file doesn't sit on one desk. An agent named Daniel Kessler starts connecting complaints from 4 different field offices, the same stolen mail pattern showing up in each one, weeks apart, cities apart, on routes that only overlap if you're the one drawing the map. He pulls bank records and builds a timeline, a spreadsheet with your movements laid out one transaction at a time, sharpening every week a new complaint trickles in from a fresh victim who only just noticed. Every extra identity is another thread we can pull, he tells a colleague late one night, reviewing printouts spread across a conference table, a line you won't hear until it's read back to you across an interview table months later. He isn't chasing you. He's letting the timeline finish itself, one data point at a time, patient in a way that looks almost indifferent from the outside, but is in fact the entire strategy. When agents show up, they already have a folder full of specifics that took months to assemble. Your commute, your usual grocery run, the coffee shop you stop at on Thursdays, the names of the people whose identities you borrowed, none of it pulled from watching you directly, all of it pulled from paper. There's no chase scene waiting for you at the end of this, just 2 agents at your door who already know exactly what they're going to find inside before you've said a word. Level 3, bank robbery. You are 31. 9 minutes in a branch lobby, a note passed instead of a word spoken. $38,000 in a bag that feels heavier walking out than it did being counted at the window. This isn't a fraud desk anymore. It's a full field investigation, and the difference shows within the hour. A case agent named Priya Anand is at the branch before the dye pack finishes smoking. She interviews the teller, the branch manager, 2 customers who were in line behind you. She reviews the footage frame by frame, not for your face. The mask handled that, but for your hands, your gait, the way you shifted your weight, waiting for the drawer to open. Marked bills surface at 2 ATMs by the next morning, each withdrawal time-stamped and logged the second it happens. A tip line produces a name from someone who recognized the jacket in a grainy still shared on local news, a detail you never once considered while getting dressed that morning. Agent Annan's team watches you for 5 days before moving, rotating unmarked cars 2 blocks back, building a case that survives a defense attorney instead of an arrest that might not hold up in front of one. You're taken walking to your car on a Tuesday morning, 6 agents already in position before your keys are out of your pocket. You spent 9 minutes planning your exit, she tells you afterward, not unkindly. We spent 5 days making sure you wouldn't need one. Here's the part most people don't clock until it's too late. Every level so far still looks survivable from the inside. You paid a fine. You made rent with a stolen name. You walked out of a bank lobby before anyone drew a weapon. Nothing so far has felt like the version of this that ends badly. That changes now. Level 4, an interstate trafficking network. You're 35, inside a supply route that grew past anything you built yourself. A network larger than you fully understand, even from the inside of it. You tell yourself you're just a driver, too small to appear near the top of any chart the government might eventually draw. That comfort doesn't survive how the investigation actually works. A supervisory agent named Marcus Webb runs a task force spanning 3 states, and he isn't focused on you first. He's mapping the whole network, phone records, shipment patterns, shell accounts that look unremarkable alone and glaring once printed side by side on the same wall. It takes months of unglamorous work, subpoenas, manifests, hours of gas station footage that yields nothing until it suddenly yields everything. Before a wiretap approved after weeks of paperwork starts recording calls on a phone you believed was clean. You're not the target of that wiretap. You're one of 15 names it eventually captures. Each one another thread in a map Webb's team has been building for the better part of a year. Arresting him doesn't slow anything down, Webb tells a junior agent, tapping your name on the org chart pinned to the wall. The organization replaces a driver by Friday. We're here for everyone he's connected to. You're arrested in coordinated raids across 3 states, timed to the same morning, so nobody in the network gets a chance to warn anyone else. A year of mapping compressed into 6 simultaneous knocks on 6 simultaneous doors. Most people never go further than this. You do. Level 5, an attack stop before it happens. You are 39, and for 3 weeks you've been watching a transit hub at the same hour every day, timing the guard rotation, noting which entrance stays unmonitored between shift changes, buying components a few at a time from different stores, so no single purchase looks like anything. None of it individually illegal. All of it, together, is exactly what a joint terrorism task force is built to notice. It activates within hours of the first real flag, pulling in federal agents, local police, and intelligence analysts from agencies that don't usually move this fast together or share information this openly. A supervisory agent named Elena Marsh runs a response built on relationships rehearsed long before this day arrived. Protocols nobody has to improvise for the first time under pressure. Your scattered purchases get cross-matched within an hour. Your timed visits to the same corner of the same platform, invisible to you as a pattern, are exactly the kind of pattern the system exists to catch. The approvals that normally take weeks happen in under an hour today, Marsh tells her team, because in this kind of case, waiting is the one mistake we can't undo. You're apprehended before the day you'd been counting down to, the same habit that once cross-referenced a payroll record in 15 minutes, now multiplied across every agency in the building, running in parallel instead of one careful step at a time. 5 levels, 5 different sizes of the same instinct. Notice, connect, wait, act. Whether it's one examiner clearing a slow afternoon or 100 agents working through the night, almost none of this is really a manhunt in the way people picture one. It's patience turned into infrastructure. The whole point is to keep sitting quietly and adding pieces until there's nothing left for you to explain your way out of, so that by the time anyone actually shows up, the hard part is already finished. Which level do you want broken down next? Drop it in the comments.